The wind outside howled like a mournful wail, rattling the windows as I stumbled out of the cursed house. My breath came in ragged gasps, my mind reeling from what had just happened. The veiled woman had disappeared into the night, leaving me standing alone on the front steps with nothing but the weight of her cryptic warning. Emily was still inside, trapped in a body no longer her own, bound to a force that had been waiting far longer than I could comprehend. My hands trembled as I fumbled for my phone, but the screen was dead. No signal, no escape. The house loomed behind me, its darkened windows like empty eye sockets staring into my soul. I had to go back. I had to save her. Steeling myself, I turned, stepping back inside. The temperature plummeted instantly. My breath came out in visible puffs as I crept forward, my ears straining for any sound. The walls seemed to pulse, as though the house itself was alive. The air was thick, heavy with a scent I couldn't place, like damp earth mixed with something metallic. Blood. My stomach churned. Then I heard it. A whisper, faint, almost indistinguishable from the rustling of the air, but it was there. My name. I turned sharply, my heart hammering in my chest. The shadows shifted along the walls, and then I saw her. Emily. She stood at the end of the hallway, her form eerily still. But something was wrong. The way she stood, the unnatural tilt of her head, the emptiness in her eyes, it wasn't her. Emily. My voice cracked, barely above a whisper. She didn't respond. Instead, she lifted one hand and beckoned me forward with a slow, deliberate motion. I hesitated, every instinct in my body screaming at me to run. But I couldn't. I took a step forward, then another. The air grew denser with each movement, pressing against my skin like unseen hands trying to hold me back. When I was only a few feet away, Emily finally spoke. "You came back." Her voice was a whisper, layered with something else, something ancient. "Why?" I swallowed hard. "Because I love you. Because I'm not leaving you here." A flicker of something passed through her eyes, something almost human, but it was gone as quickly as it appeared. "You shouldn't have come back," she murmured. "It's too late." My blood ran cold. The shadows behind her shifted, congealing into something tangible, something moving. Figures emerged, dozens of them, their hollow faces frozen in expressions of eternal anguish. They watched in silence, waiting. Emily took a step closer and I instinctively stepped back. "You can't save me," she continued, "but you can save yourself. Leave now, before they take you too." Her voice wavered, as if the real Emily was fighting to surface. I shook my head. "I won't leave you. I'll find a way to break this." The air around us crackled and the figures in the shadows stirred. "Then you must be willing to do what is necessary," she whispered. "Are you?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. A guttural growl echoed through the house, shaking the walls. The figures lunged, and I barely had time to react before the world erupted into chaos. Cold, clammy hands grabbed at me, pulling, clawing. I struggled, thrashing against the unseen force dragging me backward. Emily remained still, her eyes filled with something between sorrow and acceptance. "Run!" she screamed suddenly. "Go!" The force pulling me was relentless, dragging me toward the darkness, but I fought. I fought with everything I had, clawing at the floor, kicking against the hands. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it stopped. The house went still. I gasped for air, my chest heaving as I scrambled to my feet. The figures were gone. So was Emily. I turned wildly, scanning the room. "Emily!" My voice echoed through the emptiness. Silence. Then a whisper. "Find me." It was her voice, distant, disembodied. A shudder ran through me. The battle wasn't over. Whatever had taken her, it wasn't finished. And neither was I. I would find her, no matter what it took. My legs trembled as I stepped forward, my entire body screaming at me to leave this cursed place. But I couldn't. The air felt charged, electric, as if the walls themselves were bracing for something to happen. And then, a slow, deliberate creak echoed through the house. A door I hadn't noticed before stood slightly ajar at the end of the hall. A deep, primal fear settled in my gut, but I forced myself to move. As I approached, I realized the door led to the basement. The darkness inside was impenetrable, an abyss waiting to swallow me whole. My hands shook as I reached for the handle, my breath hitching. "Emily?" I called softly. The moment my fingers brushed the wood, a cold gust of air rushed out, carrying with it the sound of distant whispers. They weren't human. The voices tangled together in a chorus of agony and rage. My instincts screamed at me to turn back, but Emily's voice came again, clearer this time. "Find me." My resolve hardened. If she was down there, I had to go. Taking a deep breath, I stepped inside, the darkness closing around me like a living thing. The descent was slow, each step echoing as if the house itself was swallowing me deeper into its bowels. The deeper I went, the colder it became. The whispering grew louder, almost deafening. My vision adjusted, revealing the basement wasn't just a storage space, it was something else. Something ancient. Symbols were etched into the stone walls, glowing faintly as I passed. An altar stood in the center, covered in what looked like dried blood, and then I saw her. Emily was kneeling before the altar, her hands bound in heavy chains. Her eyes met mine, filled with desperation. "You have to break it," she gasped, "before they come back." I rushed forward, but before I could reach her, a force slammed into me, sending me sprawling across the floor. A shadow loomed over me, its form shifting, impossible to define. It spoke without a mouth, its voice inside my head. "You should have left. Now you are bound too." I fought against the force pinning me down, my mind racing. I had to find a way to free her. I had to end this nightmare before it consumed us both. But the shadows thickened, their laughter echoing as the altar began to glow. The ritual wasn't over. It had only just begun.